welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for the support. So last night was the International Women's Achievers Award in Canada. That is Miss Princess Award show. And Andre Steven was the guest speaker. And people, when I sat and I listened to that young boy, I had to say, wow. Because when you listen to his speech, it was on point. That boy, I know that he's well spoken and he was going to deliver, but people, he delivered. He did a very good job. And I have to wonder why I don't hear people on social media speaking about it. And when I really sit and I think, I realize because it wasn't anything mixed up, because it never have anything to do with any bagger or so forth. That's the reason why. Because when you listen to the message that he delivered, it clearly indicate to them, what is happening here in Jamaica. He was speaking about everything basically. And what the main part, he was saying that basically we need to push back against silence, injustice in our system. We need to push back against those who are protecting the sexual predator. We must push back against those who want to stifle the truth, because it's here in Jamaica, truth is punished. If you are someone who stand up for something, if you're someone who stand up for integrity, what you're going to realize that before they say good job, they're going to try to drag you through the court. They're going to try to let you seem like you're the bad one, and they're the ones doing something. When you listen to what is happening, you hear from time and time again, they are implementing laws and this and so forth. And at times, they pass these bills and after, what happened to them? Nothing. It's just another law they have on the book. Nobody practicing it. Why? The public is not educated. Sometimes people don't even know that they have this law and so forth. When you listen to him, and when he talk about women and children, what is happening here in Jamaica, you have to wonder why we don't have more people using those settings, those stage to speak about what is happening. Because at times people go overseas and they paint Jamaica like a paradise. They paint it like we don't have anything down here or go on bad. And if only they understand that, hey, guess what? Women and children, we are targeted. Even when you go into public, sometimes when you hear the men, they start to talk to females. Sometimes you have to wonder what happened to them. And even those who are in power, they don't respect females anymore. They speak to females any how they choose. And they go on the stage and they slander each other, and everything, and you wonder what is happening, what is going to come of it. Nothing is going to come of it. When you look at our systems here in Jamaica, everything is in a deplorable condition. The other day I was like, but now this road them just said them fix the other day. When you drive on it, hey, more potholes than anything, and you have to wonder where they come from, because they just fix part and leave the other part. When you go to the hospital, when you listen to what is happening at Victoria Jubilee Hospital, you have to wonder what is happening. But I was so happy that he used that stage to spread the message. When I listen to it now, I say, wonder if I want campaign him gone pan. That was what I was thinking to myself, because you realize who he was knocking against, him did a lick out. So I wonder, a campaign Andre Depan. But anyway, it was a very good speech, and I'm happy that he was able to go and spread the message. He was able to even experience the Canadian lifestyle that you see people always talk about and everything. So I am happy that he was able to do that. Now, people, there's a story going around on social media, and this story is about a lady. I think her name is I can't pronounce her first. I don't remember her first name, but she's Miss Cole. She's the owner of QC Kitchen. And this is an entrepreneur, And what happened is that they said she took time off from work because she said she was feeling tired. So she take the time off to go and rest. And she passed in her sleep. 40-year-old young girl work herself to the grave. Literally, that's what she did. Because her body was calling out to her, I said, me need rest, me need rest. But she was focusing on running her business, making the money and everything. When she finally decided that she was going to take a nap, it was a little bit too late. The body shut down on her, exhaustion take over. And I would just want to let people know that, hey, guess what? You need to enjoy life. Take time off and relax. It don't make no sense. You did a work from night to, when you look on some people, you hear them attack, say them a work 16 hours, 14 hours a day. It don't make sense you put your body through that, because in the end, what is going to happen is that everything that you work hard for, you're not going to be around to enjoy it. The business that you work hard to start, you're going to go and leave it. The house, the cars, the money in the bank account, everything you're going to leave it behind. So I would just want for people to know that, hey, guess what? Take the time out, relax. When you feel tired, take a day from work and just go and relax. Make sure that you get the proper rest. Because this is sometimes you're working like crazy, and you don't know what is happening inside of your body. Because sometimes you have some underlying condition that you yourself don't even know about. And when you feel tired, it's your body sending the signal to you to let you know that something is wrong. Something is going on that you need to get checked out. So people, please take the time out to rest. Don't let what happened to Miss Cole happen to you. When she decided that she was going to finally take the time off from work, she passed in her sleep, just like that.
Canada, what will be our response? So we must demand action, not just plans, transformation, not just thoughts. Diaspora family, Jamaica needs you. Miss Princess, Jamaica needs you. Ladies and gentlemen, right here in Brompton tonight, Jamaica needs you. Your voice here in Canada carries power because you're the diaspora, aren't you? Use it to call for legislative changes. Use it to amplify the cries for our women and children. Use it to support community organizations doing the work on the ground. So how can you do it, Miss Princess? How can you do it to the hundreds that I'm talking to tonight? Lobby international organizations to monitor the commitment to women's rights and child protection. Fund shelters education initiatives and legislative aid for these victims. Partner with organizations to build safe spaces online and offline. Demand action through diplomatic channels because global pressure leads to national change. And when you ask, surely they listen. That is the power of the diaspora. A journey I began as a little boy at Waterford Primary, asking questions others were afraid of. They called me Father God. I found my voice not in comfort but in struggle. I've stood before crowds, cameras, courts. I've stood with women violated, children discarded, families broken by injustices. But what keeps me going is purpose. Not fame, not fearlessness, but a deep belief that every Jamaican, every human deserves dignity. And until Jamaica becomes a place where every woman and child can walk home without fear, every woman, every child can live without trauma, until justice is not a privilege but guarantee, I, Andre Stefano Stevens, will not stop. I will not stop. I will not stop. I will not stop until until justice is a privilege. It's not a privilege, but it is guaranteed for every Jamaican child, every Jamaican woman, and by extension, every Jamaican man. But it must be said plainly. I'm going to do a final reality check tonight. It must be said plainly that the cause of the Jamaican woman has been stalled, if not reversed, under the stewardship of the current government and the minister with responsibility for gender affairs. Yes, it is true that the current minister devoted long time, ladies and gentlemen. She has crafted a space in cultural memory and longevity, and yes, there are communities across the island that hold her with high regards. But name recognition is not accountability. Name recognition is not accomplishment. The historical record speaks louder than its nostalgia. For 4 years, 2011 from 2007 to 2011, and 9 years from 2016 to present, this minister has responsibility for gender affairs. That's how many years? 13. After 13 years, what has been the legacy to protect our children? What has been the legacy to safeguard our women? What has been that legacy? I'm not here to bash anyone tonight. I'm here to present the facts and the realities, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot be on stage, and this is a reality that you all can agree with, that 13 years of underperformance cannot continue. We need to understand that we cannot wear trinkets or something decorative or ornamental. But the role demands an armor. It demands a spear, it demands a shield. It demands the fire of Queen Nanny of the Maroons. It demands the fiercity of a Zena. And it surely demands the voice of a Harriet Tubman. But instead, we get symbolism without substance, attendance without action, photo ops without policy. Today, we have a far higher rate of femicide and violation of our children over those last 13 years. We need to fix that. Worse, the cultural objectification of women has intensified across dancehall and popular culture. And yet, time and time again, the minister shows up, she hugs, she kisses, she dances with some of these same artists who profit from reducing women to flesh and props. This is a sad reality, ladies and gentlemen. Let us ask for something more than that. Wouldn't you agree? Let us ask for more than that. Wouldn't you agree? Would you agree that we need more than that tonight?
Yes.
Would you agree, ladies and gentlemen, we need policy action?
Yes.
Would you agree that we need legislative change? Would you agree that we need more shelters across Jamaica to protect our women and children who needs to be protected from predators? Would we agree, Jamaica, that we need bipartisan approach, not from PNP nor JLP? We need the women who stand in the parliament to champion change for not just one, not just two, but the thousands of women and children in our country who needs justice.